Stop scaring yourself to death with your own mental pictures. Stop fighting straw men. Emotionally respond only to what actually is, here and now, and ignore the rest. Maxwell Maltz, MD, author of Psycho-Cybernetics, updated and expanded. If you've ever experienced a paralyzing fear, it may appear to materialize from out of nowhere. You may feel a sense of panic while having no recall of thinking a negative, debilitating thought. All you know is that fear took hold of you, and deep breathing or telling yourself to calm down didn't help. Well, I have some great news for you because in today's lesson, you're going to learn how to deactivate fear in a matter of seconds. Before I get into it, though, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so that more people such as yourself can take advantage of the secrets that you are learning. Anyway, in one of my psycho-cybernetic seminars, a young woman asked me about an unspecified fear she had and what to do about it. As she spoke, I saw mental images of what she was talking about. I sensed that her fear had something to do with an automobile accident. And so in my answer, I brought this situation up indirectly as a possibility. At once, this woman held her breath and became tense. As I looked at her watery eyes, I knew I was on target. She was living a nightmare scenario of her fear in front of the audience. In a calm and soothing voice, I asked her to leave the imagery that made her afraid alone, not to make any attempt to overpower it. Instead, I simply asked her to switch her mind to a picture of her car parked in front of her home. Then I had her picture her car looking as shiny as the day she bought it. After this, I asked her to picture her husband and children gathered together with her for a gourmet dinner. Within seconds, the woman's shoulders dropped, her face relaxed, and her smiling eyes sparkled. She inhaled deeply and let out a big sigh. "You see what you did?" I asked. "You lifted the weight of the world off your shoulders. And the proof is the big breath you just let out. Feels much better, doesn't it?" "Without a doubt," she said. "From now on, whenever I catch myself freaking out about a possible disaster, I'll change the image to a group hug and a gourmet dinner with my family." "That is correct," I answered. "Keep in mind that when you do your daily practice of theater of the mind, when you're picturing your goal for the day, you always make time to calm yourself down and relax first. But in the case of a fearful thought that is so strong, you feel as though you cannot calm yourself down, and there's no time to do so, just change the mental image on the spot to something soothing and freeing, and this will deactivate the fear that was troubling you. This technique is what I have put into practice many times over the course of my life, and it never fails. Whenever I encounter an irrational fear, it is always due to a disastrous mental picture. The fear doesn't just happen to me, although it may feel as though that was the case. And yet, as soon as I change the fearful image to something positive and enjoyable, the anxiety flies away and a feeling of peace is restored. Is the emotional positive shift permanent? If it were, I wouldn't be human. The good news is that after you have experienced the seemingly magical power of this technique, You will get better and better at recognizing and replacing anxious thoughts with those that are much more gratifying. If you think you can program yourself to never experience another negative thought again, think again. We are not robots. We're human beings. We think dumb thoughts. We make mistakes with our imagination without realizing that we have done so. The key is improving the speed at which we recognize our dumb thoughts and replace them with those that are empowering. Psycho-Cybernetics, the Japanese Superman and Tendai monk, who was declared a living Buddha after running 1,000 marathons in 7 years, was asked if he ever got angry. He said, "Yes, every day. But I recognize the angry thought faster and get rid of it a lot quicker than I used to. An angry thought that used to take me days to get rid of can now be eliminated in a few seconds." The same is true of fear. When you recognize what you're afraid of and make a choice to change that mental image to something pleasant, you really do change your life. If you enjoyed today's message, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe because it will really help this channel grow and be of benefit to many more people. Also, make sure you are signed up for my emails at psycho-cybernetics.com.